Oops, did not want to do that.
お相手いたします。出直してきます。ハニオヘとイロハ。
I did not want to do all this.
完璧です。
Works every time. What did I do that for?
出直してきます。ハニオヘとイロハ。
That was kind of stupid. And that.
お返しいたします。5、6、7、8、9、10、 1パーミテーション。聞いてくだ助けて。助けて。
Okay.
完璧
The game really had to like just decide on that, I guess. Actually could have used the green yellows for the bonus. Shit. I had too many from 6.
出直してきます。ハニオヘとイロハ。
Oops. Oh my god, I promise you I actually didn't try to do that. I did not want to do anything that's happening right now.
1
I was hoping I was actually gonna connect at the end there.
出直してきます。ハニオヘとイロハ。完璧です。完璧です。
Hopefully my LR works.
お返しいたします。6、7、インテグラル。助けて。アロイとヘホニハ。完璧です。
Wait.もう一曲どうぞ。3、4、5、6、7、8、9、1。パーミテーション。あいた。1、2、あいた。ラーラー。手直してきました。お返しいたします。よひ1、2、ラーラー。1、
ます。タンジェント助けてー。アロイドヘホニハー。完璧です。1 もう一挙助けて助けてアロイドヘホニハー。完璧です。リクエストですの6、7ってきました。あいた出直してきます。ハニオヘとイロハできました。2、3、4、5、6。お返しいたします。インテグラル助けて助けてアロイドヘホニハー。完璧です。
Well, I kind of played a little less than standard there. But it is what it is. Kind of playing at like a weird time because I'm supposed to be eating right now. Well, not eating, but you know. I saved that right. Oops, that's not where I'm supposed to go. Wait, was that the... Oh no, that's the... Wait, I didn't save the last one? Aw, man. Before I get to my call, give me a second. Tweet. That's like the whole important. Yes. Yes, I'm doing it because it's offensive. Sorry, someone kind of called me out on a name, so I kind of had to insult them. And I'm also going to report you. Okay, no more of that. It's ironic too because like there's a post where I express I don't like Yoshi, and then some asshole just comes at me sideways for no reason. Okay, let's see. Oh shit, I gotta make a window for it.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so we're just going to go over this first to 10 and just some quick pointers, and I don't think we have much to cover because you're actually pretty solid already. Maybe just like the style you play is kind of a little bit questionable and kind of like weird to like improve upon, but that can just be worked upon. So I have the replay saved, and I'm gonna screen share it to you.
Okay, I be watching? Okay.
Yeah, just watch the screen share that I'm about to share with you on Discord. Should be now. And just let me know if you have problems seeing it. Okay, yeah, so this is what we're going to be looking at here. Give me a second here because I need to make sure. See, you can see that. Yeah, let me try something real quick with OBS. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
It's alright. Take your time. I can wait.
Let's see. You can see my mouse on Discord, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Well, I'll just make it to where you can see it, and then whoever is watching the stream back, they can kind of just infer what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's go ahead and play. And there might be a little bit weirdness going on. hang on. My capture is being weird now. As soon as I start to start.
No,
Just my
that's
lag.
alright. It's not a problem.
Yeah, let me just fix it real quick, like. Just gotta give it a soft reset, and it should be good. Okay, then turn it back on. Okay. Should be good to go. Compared to what I usually am, because I kind of actually did play like a pretty tough first of the 20 today before the HeyItsJuice League, so a little bit off there. And you're on the left, I'm on the right, so that should be a little bit easier for you. Yeah. Good response to like my initial like attack, because she kind of set off something to where like I couldn't really respond back to it, and it was gonna put me in a bad spot if I had the bad colors. So
The lane was pretty flexible. It had the potential to be long, but it also could have been short. So yeah.
let's see here, and then of course you're kind of doing like a freestyle-ish chain, and I say freestyle-ish because you are kind of like you're using like the normal like chaining like styles, but then you're also kind of just like not doing it in the most traditional way, which is never really a bad thing. It's just that sometimes when you do something like that, it's kind of hard to read as an opponent, which in hindsight you kind of do want that, but you know it's also gonna kind of like confuse like me as like a teacher or as like a tutor, because like I'm like, okay, did you mean to put that there, or are you kind of just freestyling it? But I can tell you're trying to freestyle it, and it's pretty readable to follow, so it's not really a big issue. And that's like hidden strength that you may not. It actually may be like end up being a strength, because if you like do all these weird like untraditional chaining methods, then you can really catch your opponents off guard, and then they'll probably and you're like bait them into making like a mistake that you want them to make, so that way you can punish it.
Okay. I keep that in mind.
Then of course I sent a little bit more than what I was hoping. Also keep that in mind. Like try to keep like the columns in mind when you do like think about your chaining, because like say for instance like you want your chain to go like a certain way, so for most chains like the PUYOs in column 3 will kind of fall down before column 4, so that's how you want to like think about. So like if you had like let's say like a red like up here, and then you have like another red down here, and it depends on what you're trying to do, because if you're trying to power, then you want to hit it exactly the same, but if you're trying to tail it, you kind of want to make it delayed, I guess. It's kind of hard to like kind of put in words, but hopefully what I'm saying makes sense.
Don't worry, it was understandable.
Okay. And I'm also not sure why. Well, I think it's because I'm trying to screen share and like stream. We'll get through that. I can probably try to see if I can do something. Hang on. This is the first. This is probably a first. Let's just lower the quality real quick so it has an easier time doing it. I want it to be the best quality, or at least as functional as it can be. Okay, should be back to you.
Yeah, it's back. I can see the entire screen.
Okay. Okay, so with this placement here with the GTR, actually let's see if I can go back. So I want you to like kind of like see the difference between where I put these pieces on your board and then where you put them on, or where I put them on my board. The way you put it on over there kind of like keeps the chain a little bit more together, and if you did have like more greens and then had a bit more blues to work with for like an extra trigger, then it would have worked. But like also it may just be your style of like trying to chain, like making the tail end first and then like the actual trigger. So that may just be like your playstyle, which again is totally fine. It's just a little bit. It's just with that. it's just with that, it's kind of like more easily like vulnerable in a way. Because like if you don't have your trigger ready, but then like you have all your belts filled up, and like I send like a 2-chain harassment, then you're kind of just gonna be locked out of your chain, and you're just gonna be forced to just make like 1s and 2s all the time.
Oh, I see.
Well,
I
I'm
see. So
able
it's
to like
pretty dangerous with this playstyle. Yeah, I see. I see.
yeah, like it's not like again, it's not like a terrible thing because I know like some top players do get away with it and can do it pretty well. Like I think Tima actually does it a lot. But she's probably the only one I could probably see an example off of because most players and especially like the higher level players kind of just like make sure like their trigger like the front end of the chain is first. It's like finished first, so they would at least have something to back they can actually launch, and then like worry about the back end. Because with my chain, like I set my blues over here so that way, and I have like next piece coming up so I can at least finish the GTR. So. Because as you can see now, like now my GTR is a little bit more ready, but then like yours is kind of just, well, yours is probably going this way, so your trigger might end up being over here, up here. But if you were trying to build it like up here, then that would have just caused you a little bit more problems, and you'd have to like make like a 1-chain or something. I think in the future to try to prevent this, to flip it to where 3 blues down here, and then your middle greens, and then your 3 blues up here, and then probably try to make some sort of like, and then try to put a green like down here, so you can have like at least a longer GTR with the wide giant. Let me see if I can picture this. Let me see if I can chain some this for you. I gotta load it up first though. Oh, and if you have any questions or if I'm like talking too fast, please let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
it
I
would end
see.
up something. So it would end up something like this, and then if you wanted to put like a green down here and then up here, and then maybe like the upcoming like purple, you could have just done something like this, and then that could be your
Yeah,
GTR.
yeah,
It'll
that
be a
could
lot
be
cleaner, a
actually
little bit.
pretty good. That could
It'll
be
be a lot
actually
less
pretty
cleaner.
good.
It'll be a lot cleaner, probably a lot safer. And then if you really wanted to, you could actually like clear these blues at some point, and then probably do something like this to where you'll have 1 blue up there, so it still connects with those. And then if you really wanted to, you could probably just do something like this for a tail. But those are just something. Those are just like some things that I would just keep in mind because I do notice like at a lot of your rounds, your ending board was a little bit all cluttered. So that's kind of like basically like wasted space that you kind of like used for your chain, or to clear up to actually have some sort of harassments ready.
Okay, okay.
But those are just like theories that I. Those are just theories or like stuff that I would normally watch out for. Because again, everyone plays the game a little bit differently and have different ideas. So I think you sort of kind of did what I actually kind of explained, but of course you kind of like the way that you were kind of like putting your places are a little bit like hard to follow, and I think you might have got like confused at first, or maybe you were trying to like use like this green to make like a transition and like be somewhat open, but then you're kind of just left with like a bunch of space up here that could have been used, or like maybe you could have used all of these up here, over here somewhere, and then use this for like purely like attacking or defending any harassments that may come your way. But it did certainly take me off guard, so you have points for that.
Okay, I see. Thank you. Okay.
And of course, this kind of all applies, like, if the game just doesn't, like, give us really bad pieces, so. Which can happen, but, this is just sort of some ways to kind of prevent it. or to mitigate it rather, because you can't really prevent what the game gives you. I think you kind of just launched your chain here, and I think I just launched my chain as well. And I broke my chain, so you were kind of just winning that one. So I think that was just on my. So I think that's pretty much just on my part from making some poor decisions on the way. But you know, sometimes we can't really prevent that. So I'll think you just look at it and then just do better next time. Were you trying to go for like a certain formation with this? Wait, hang on, the curse is not there.
I was trying
Were you
to
trying to
go.
go?
Oh. I was trying to build up with the blue and then put the red on top, so I can extend on the right with the greens that are upcoming.
Okay.
That is what I had in mind.
Okay. Okay, so I think I kind of see what you're trying to do there, because I was a little bit confused, because like you kind of just put places there like, wait, what are they doing? So again, that's kind of just like a bunch of like, just kind of think of like wasted space a little bit, because like now you have like all these colors like down here that's like not ever going to be used. You're kind of just using those to like cushion up this, that frankly just could have just been used to make like a better formation that could have, like kind of put it attended to these pieces rather than just have them just be wasted space. Because you want to minimize the amount of wasted space you get, or the amount of space that you kind of waste, because that space could be really important for either making like a sneak tail, or like again just harassments, or you know some sort of attack. So if you are trying to keep that sort of like freestyle or freedom to like chain however you like, I would probably try to see if you can minimize like the amount of like wasted space here, because like right now you kind of just threw like some pieces away just to be basically just like the Tetris pieces are just they're just there to just
I
be there.
keep it in mind. I noticed that I was splitting up pretty high from the right to the upper higher side above the yellow at the moment.
Yeah, and you want to try to like prevent like, if this is like your transition, you kind of want to prevent like putting up like way too high without like a secondary, because if I do just end up blocking something like up here, then you're not going to be able to reach the ghost row very easily. So you're going to have a hard time actually like getting your piece up here, and you can only put one piece up here. So if you put, so like let's say like this is all filled out for some reason, and you try to put this piece there, you try to flip it up there, and you put your piece like up here, the yellow would still stay, but then the blue would be disappeared.
I see.
So yeah, try not to fill up your sides like too often or too much without like, okay, this is my transition, it's complete now, and then of course if your transition is complete, then you can kind of just then you can kind of just use that as like a throwaway piece in case you get like a couple of bad pieces for your trigger. And then with that response to the harassment, you did kind of like throw away like the greens that were supposed to like tail here, I'm assuming. So now you're just left with this, like a bunch like these little yellows. Ideally in the situation, you could use like the upcoming blues and yellows to kind of make like a harassment, and then I'd have to like launch what I have, and then you could have won that way. But then like you'd have to like then like with like the chaining time that I had with this, you'd have to like find something with like these red, these blues to like kind of to at least like a 6 or 7 chain like off the blue. So it would have been like a little bit of a hard gamble, but that's like an option that I would have done.
I see. I mean, at my board, the space was pretty small, so it would have been pretty dangerous, and there's not much that I could have done.
Yeah, exactly. Because now with that attack, it's lagging. You have to get rid. So again, just some like situations that I would probably keep on the lookout for. And I'm just push this real quick while I reset this. Of course, I'm trying to do some tutoring for a stream. It's giving me problems, but that's the beauty of streaming.
That's alright. It happens.
Okay, looks like it's reset it, so let's do that. And then I think we were just pretty much just at a mental state. I was kind of, well, neutral state. We were kind of trying to figure out how our chains worked, and you launched what you had, and I launched what I had, but I had something a little bit more decisive. So at this point, you're kind of just meandering. Yeah, 'cause you didn't really have the pieces. You didn't really have an amount of pieces that kind of like threatened me, or told me that hey, they're probably gonna outchain this chain. So I probably should have not done that.
Yeah, there were pretty many mistakes on my side, as I have noticed.
Okay, let's see. So pretty much again, kind of like the same thing. Like you have you have your trigger like way built up here, but you're just kind of just wasting these yellows like down here, and like you're potentially going to be wasting like this space down here as well. So you're kind of just artificially like increasing like your chain time. So like this could have been used for like something else, but like now you potentially have to like waste time later, kind of like filling this point up so you can actually catch up to the trigger. So I guess to put it into like a better choice of words, if your trigger is up here, then your trigger is like trying to build is like going to be like a little bit on higher ground. Try to make sure this is all filled up too, with like either a tail or like something that you can use to actually reach your trigger, because odds are if I do like send something to you that's a little bit more lethal, then you would have reached your chain, but then you would have been locked out, because if this is like a 3 chain, then you would have like, well, let me see if I can chain sim this. Let's see. So let's say you need some greens, but you had a drought, but then I send like garbage. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. Would have been something like this, so you would have been locked out anyways because you couldn't have reached your trigger in time. I mean, ideally you could have got like a green and then like set up what you had, but then to counter like all this, you would have had like minimal garbage, but then you would have had like no resources afterwards. So I would have just had time to just set off what I had and then win.
I see.
So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Just to try not to like clutter yourself like way too soon, because that's gonna really hurt like your tailing. I mean, ideally you could have put like a yellow in column 2, and then it would have tailed that way. But again, that's kind of a little bit of a weird situation there. So again, just kind of like again, I think most of the battles are just like you kind of just like wasting space for free, and then you're kind of just doing your job of harassing yourself for me. So yeah, of course, thinking of like an abundance of greens and purples, but I went ahead and just attacked. And then you kind of just attacked me, but I think I didn't have a correct piece here. Yeah, I was missing greens here, and I think I barely didn't make it. No, I got it. I mean, it didn't really lock you out, so of course the secondary chain is key here. But of course I already had it back up. And OBS is really letting me down. This battle was kind of back and forth, and OBS is really not making itself pleasurable today. I think at this point we were kind of just at like a stalemate. Or not really a stalemate, but we were kind of just at like a neutral, like, who's going to make like a improvised chain. I think you actually kind of came out on top here. Let me just double check. Oh, yeah, you did. I think I would lock myself out because I misrotated. we're not getting as okay. So let's see. So I am going to. Well, did you save this replay, or do you want me to like upload it and then send it to you?
I have saved this replay for myself.
Okay. So what else? So since we are a little bit out of time, I do have to, and I didn't really want it to like cut it like super short, but I didn't want to like ditch the thing. So I would just say, okay, let's just make it like exactly an hour, and then I'll review what I have. And OBS is kind of being a little bit of a pain in the butt right now, so. We for your next tutoring, we can actually just go over like any replays you want to, like this, like what we're doing right now. Instead of like us battling. That's all up to you though. I do not mind. But we can definitely continue this, and I can, if I see something that's kind of crucial, like hey, go to this point in the match and look at this, and then think about this for a second.
For the next tutoring, I would say maybe it would be a replay look back, because I noticed many errors and I keep making them without even noticing them. So I think that would be logical.
Yeah, exactly. We can definitely just have like an hour just reviewing your replays and then seeing what we could do better about that.
I guess even I would have then next time free time, and then I'll let you know.
Okay. I think you actually are able. I mean, you're able to get as many slots as you want for like this week, really. And I think the only thing with that is like I think I'd rather have people wait until like Wednesday to do that, or like half of Wednesday, because I don't want people to be like this person's taking too many slots or something like that, which I personally don't mind, but then I don't want people for that to come over. But if you want to like do another time like this week to do it, then you're more welcome to. I think we're still pretty open with slots. I think I only have like one other person today and then like someone on Wednesday, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully like those slots get filled, and if they don't, then of course you're just free to take whatever times you want, because I still benefit from it either way.
Alright. Thank you for letting me know, and thank you for all the advice. It helped me get a better insight of my chaotic gameplay.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit of the chaotic side, and it does work sometimes. It's just like most of the but sometimes like when you go to like higher level players, like like Angel of Diamond, Shield Overall, or someone who can like look those out and kind of like punch you a little bit better than I can, then it kind of gets a little bit to the point where you can't really do much against those players. So hopefully, like as we.
When I started out, I was actually watching morally professional players, so I could learn from it, and then I started learning about the different sailing methods. And when I try to use them, it gets pretty chaotic, although I don't intend it to end up like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit chaotic, and I think this is kind of just like more of like your breaking point, because once you get out of this like little chaotic like situation or kind of mitigate it better, then you're gonna like actually see yourself move up and be more consistent high level players, or higher level players, or right a tougher opponent. But
I think if I fix that chaotic gameplay, then it would be actually pretty strong and more better than it is as of now.
Exactly. You just gotta like keep at it, and of course the tutoring is here to help you, not injure you. So.
I mean, it did help. It did help understand it better, because mainly it is pretty chaotic and it is a gamble most of the time.
Yeah.
With that being said...
But yeah, definitely get at me like sometime, like whenever you want to for this week, and of course when next week's slots open up, then we'll announce that, and then then you can take those. But all that, I hope today's session was beneficial for you, and I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you again very soon.
It helped me. Thank you very much for the tutoring. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Have a good week. Thank you. I use the free time I have to improve, so next time it will be a better insight, and there will be a few improvements visible. Yeah. With that being said, bye-bye. Have a good day. Thank you for the tutoring.
Well. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining me, and thank you for the games, even though OBS was a bit chaotic. Thank you nonetheless. Okay.
Thank you. You have a good day, okay?
Have a good day, sis. See ya soon.
See you soon. Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't really get through like all of like the first 10. But I will try to pinpoint it. I'll have to kind of mitigate or see what's wrong or see why OBS is doing this. It might be just because I'm streaming, but I don't want to like not stream and like have you guys not know what's going on. But I'll have to try to fix that next time. I know I can do it in recordings, but then you guys won't really get much out of it. It is 12, and I do have a video I could upload. But I think I'm just going to not upload, and I'll just upload in the early in the morning for you guys. And then to mitigate that, I'll probably see if I can find someone to battle today. Or I could try to find like a really long set that I did and just like premiere for you guys, but I'll figure it out later. But thank you guys so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. If you guys do want PUYO tutoring, I'll probably have a link up sooner rather than later. Probably, but yeah. But if you guys do want tutoring, I'll have like a community post set for you guys, so you guys can actually just sign up, and then all I ask is for you guys to actually join the EPPC Discord, because that's when I will be able to actually notify you instead of just us using something else. So yeah, because I don't really have anything else to be told. But thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. The support recently has been pretty phenomenal, so I appreciate it a lot. Okay, let me just finish everything to do here, and then I'll let you guys go. I do have another PUYO tutoring to do, but I'm just gonna record that one. So hopefully that doesn't fry any of your or maybe I might stream again as well, but it's gonna be like 2 hours from now. So yeah.